And now I'm cheesing my way back to you, Van, with a burning cheese inside. Time to talk pack.
You see Lil Papi's face on that? That was good.
That's right. Lil Papi's back for more. Didn't scare him away yet.
No, but that song definitely scared the shit out of me. So
that's fine.
How do
you feel inside about that, Cheezy? How do you feel inside?
I mean, we got two thoroughbred cheeseheads and one Boston fan from Rhode Island.
Nonetheless,
people live there.
Exactly. As long as you know it's a state. Most people don't even know it's a state.
I assume the only city in Rhode Island is Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. I didn't know they have cities there.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like it's a city state. I don't know.
We're the biggest little state.
One city looking to do something cool would be awesome segue. Green Bay is looking to hopefully host 2024 draft, which would be sweet because they haven't done it yet. That's that.
I like how so Murphy comes in, obviously organizational head. He's the CEO. He says, "I feel confident. I think we'll be able to make a really strong case. The criteria the league looks at, it's not as set as something like the Super Bowl." And basically, what he's trying to say, like, yeah, I know our weather's not good, and like our city's really small, and there's maybe not enough hotels. Really,
there's not.
But that's not part of the criteria that the Super Bowl requires. So
but
we could probably
I've heard the argument. If we can have the draft in Roger Goodell's basement, we can have it in Green Bay. And honestly, it would be nice because Green Bay is one of those towns that like really relies on the influx of like the cash flow from the season for that city to like be alive and businesses to make it and whatever else. And so this would be like, I mean, it's 4 years later, but it'd be a nice little like pump into the economy too. I'd be all about it.
Well, yeah, I think every city should get it, and I think definitely Green Bay should get it just because they've got great fans. I mean, come on, when you're a cheesehead,
best fans.
You know what I mean?
We're everywhere.
I would love to see a game at Lambeau.
Green Bay,
every football fan should see a game at Lambeau.
Yeah. There's no reason to see a football game in New England. None. Zero.
Gillette Stadium.
Let me ask this question.
Razors.
Is the draft a destination thing? Like, do you plan a vacation to see the draft? Is that something you do?
I mean, I got buddies that do draft parties. Like, they literally sit around and like sit there and drink beer. Like, I knew he was going third overall. Like, they get jacked about it. Take off of work and just hang out all day for the draft.
But then, are you guys young enough to remember when the draft was during a weekday? Back in the day, I don't even know if you guys were born. So when I was
you're talking about when there's like 17 rounds.
That's when the when the USFL was around. Then they did it all like until like 2-3 in the morning. But they would do it like on 2 different days, weekdays, and ESPN would cover it. And my 2 friends of mine from home, senior year, we somehow convinced our parents, can we stay home and watch the draft? So I hate Goodell with a passion, obviously, but I think him putting the draft, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that was genius.
I
guess. I have no interest in watching the draft whatsoever. Not one bit.
I want to read a report about it.
I am totally fine. I'm totally fine with the NFL.com app blowing up my phone when the Packers pick somebody. That's it. I don't really care. Or if a Badger gets picked. I care about Packers and Badgers. That's it.
But you don't you don't want to wait in the first round to see which QB Green Bay is going to pick that they really don't need since they have Aaron Rodgers?
Dude, chill out. That's Lil Papi, that's a great segue. Thank you very much. That's great.
Well done.
Look at that.
You're going to get an award from the Professional Broadcasting Association.
Thank you.
Do we qualify for that?
Nope. Anyways, I came across an article earlier today. Aaron Rodgers has been, he's very realistic about everything in general. And, he's realistic about when Jordan Love was drafted, his time in Green Bay may come to an end. But today was like, he said, or I guess a report came out today from CBS Sports that it was very much more like concrete language than normal. And he's basically talking about, they're asking him, as always, about the Jordan Love pick and whatever else. And some guy, Kyle Brandt for the Ringer. I don't know anything about the Ringer, but he was asking Rodgers about, do you think you could finish your career somewhere else? And Rodgers says, I think that's probably what happened, based on the circumstances around everything. He said, just look at the facts. They traded up. They drafted him. Obviously, they like him. They want to play him. He said, and I get it. I really do. He said, I don't harbor any ill will about it. He said, was I bummed out? He said, of course. He said, who wouldn't be? I wanted to play my entire career in Green Bay. I love the city. I grew up there, but look, I get it. I see it completely clearly, and I'm not bitter about it. It just kind of is what it is. He said, to finish this out, he said, when they traded up, I was thinking about which receiver might be there at the time. So when they traded up, I perked up a little bit. He said, I wasn't elated by the pick, especially being one game away from the Super Bowl and feeling like we're a couple of pieces away. At the same time, it's a business. I understand it's a business. I poured myself some tequila and FaceTimed and talked to a bunch of people that night. And the next day, he said he called Jordan Love. He wanted to make sure that Jordan Love knew exactly what Rodgers was thinking. The last thing you want to deal with is any negativity around realizing a childhood dream. And obviously, he's referencing Favre and him, that whole thing. So, whew.
My heart hurts. My heart hurts. I can't even. I'll do the segue that is dying here. Where does Aaron Rodgers go, if not in Green Bay?
To his couch to sit and be retired.
What is that pointing? I don't like that pointing towards that Boston shirt.
Dude, we have so much cap space next year. We really do. And one of the reasons why Brady's now gone, because we had to get rid of his cap hit. We got lots of cap space. Cap's going down next year. We will still have cap space, and we will draft a wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers will be in Green Bay for at least 3 more years, at least.
Do you think so?
They're not going to take Jordan Love and throw him into the fire. That's not what we do. Corona. We don't do that. That's silly. That's absolutely silly to take a rookie quarterback and throw him in and expect him to play well.
Well, especially in the lower first round. But
especially when you have Rodgers locked in through 2024, 2025. Why?
It was such a bad double dip. A, you don't need the QB. B, need a wide receiver, right? Obviously, the draft is loaded with wide receivers. And did you ever pick one in the draft?
No,
not anybody worth mentioning.
No, we didn't. And the
mind-boggling.
The thing was too is that you to me that draft showed that the Packers brass has like extreme confidence in our receivers to begin with, and that we're focusing a little bit more on the run game.
We got wide receiver hubris.
Well, speaking of wide receivers, Devin Funchess today opted out because of COVID. I was actually excited to have him on a 1-year deal. That'd been cool. But I mean, I don't know. This is more concrete than I've heard Rodgers talk about his future in a long time. So this is not cool.
I will tell you, when we drafted Garoppolo in the second round all those years ago, and Belichick mentioned, he's like, well, Brady. He mentioned his age. He mentioned his contract was coming up. And then what does Brady do? Brady uses that as incentive and then had some of the best years of his career. So that could happen.
Rodgers is good at having a chip on his shoulder.
Can't hurt, but it still makes no sense not to pick up a wide receiver. Even if you pick the best player available, at some point you need to know your roster. Like, we need a kicker. So they took their top kicker in the 5th round that no one had ranked in their top 10. But like, we like this guy, we want him. We're going to take him, in the 5th. And they did that with a punter last year in the 5th. And so you gotta do it both ways.
I mean, I guess you never know.
Bears,
Jordan,
you gotta have that kicker.
Oh, the Bears, you need a tight end too. They like tight ends.
10 of them. They got 10 of them on the roster. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, Jordan Love could not even play a single snap in Green Bay. You have no idea.
Yeah.
He traded. He could get hurt. Anything could happen. So I think Rodgers is going to play out of his mind this year because of this whole situation, because he's good at carrying a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. I agree, but you could have just taken a quarterback in the 3rd round and done the same thing and put a chip on his shoulder, not move up in the 1st round.
They didn't call me. Mark Murphy forgot to call me and ask what he should do. So, unfortunately, I mean, I have my phone on loud and everything.
True.
And I had my phone forwarding to Van too. So
did you? You did not. You're lying. Although we do openly put out the number for the cheese line. We have a Lil Papi. Did you know we have a phone number?
No one told me about the phone number.
We have a phone number. You can call and text us. You can leave us voicemails, and you can ask us if our refrigerator is running.
Sweet.
The phone number is 980-2-CHEEZY with a Z. So that's 980-224-3399.
Sweet.
hit
So
us
I
up,
can call.
audio.
I can just crank call you guys all the time now.
If you want, yeah.
every day if you want.
Actually, Ram Jam sent in a text yesterday, day before, because the 49ers signed Raheem Mostert, so he's happy about that. But so people, when I say people, I mean mostly Ram Jam, use the cheese line.
Thank you. And I tried to text him back one of our memes from the NFC Championship game where you have Chief Wiggum's son,
Ralphie
sitting on the bus.
Ralph.
Ralph.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. And Garoppolo hands ball to Mostert. Ralphie. I'm in danger.
Oh, I made that meme last year.
Yeah.
Anyways, sidetrack because we do that all the time. Rodgers doesn't usually say things he doesn't mean. He usually is very careful about his words he puts out there. But I also don't know who the Ringer. I don't know anything about that organization.
Yeah, you know Bill Simmons. He was on ESPN.
Yeah.
That's his thing, the Ringer.
So should I trust it? Is it fake news?
It is not fake news. So I would trust it.
It's not Packers-centered news.
No, it's a national, what they call a national interweb outlet. National news.
Well,
I guess with that, it's the end of the Packers section.
That was a terrible end, but all right, bye.
Bye.
I thought you were going to say, and with that, that's the end of the Packers dynasty.